Hi, I'm Zoe.
Hi, I'm Rovaldo, and we are human.
When I hear upstander, I think upstanding citizen. So upstander, not a bystander. I guess that kind of says, don't just sit by if you see something that's wrong, be an upstanding citizen and participate in correcting that or helping getting to the point of correction.
It's a good thing because if you can randomly stand up for somebody, that you don't know, it's really good because, you, as I said earlier, that's you saving them mentally. And if you can save somebody mentally, you're a superhero. You don't need a cape.
I remember being in grade 7 and I wanted to sit at the front, the third seat from the teacher, and I sat down and I think I was probably a girl said I was in her seat. I was not in her seat, but she said I was in her seat, and we were like face to face, and she's like, oh, I'm a 1 and you're a 0, and commenting on my weight, and that was probably like the first time that I experienced, like I was aware of the fact that I was probably not the ideal weight. And that diminishing me like that, it hurt, it stung. And I think from then I kind of internalized that, and every time I'm interacting with anybody, the first thing I'll say is probably like, oh, well, I know I'm fat or whatever, get it out of the way first, because I don't want anybody to hurt me like that.
Okay, so on top of my head right now, I'm remembering when I was in primary school, right? Remember, I don't know if you had that particularly guys, those kids, let me just say, like, them think them bad. If you're too soft, them say you're gay or whatever. So I remember being picked on and them say, am I going like my girl, am I this, am I that, and whatever. And in the reality of it, that's not it, because you cannot judge somebody based on how they are. If they're soft, you don't necessarily have to be a man. Tough to be a man. So when I was in primary school, they used to pick on me and say I'm soft and like me a girl, I'm for power with boys, and it was becoming really annoying to me. But I learned how to overcome it. Like when me used to take bus, them would walk back at me and attack that, but never try to hit me or anything. But that's what I can remember right now on top of my head. I do have multiple experience being bullied, but that's the one I could remember right now. That's on top of my head, really.
I think perspective is an important thing, because it's one thing to have like somebody come in and give a talk but students, they're not paying attention. They don't care. It's just another day in the hall or whatever, hearing somebody say something and then they go back to their regular day. I feel like we need to somehow put it into a perspective where, what if this was happening to you? Because if people don't care about other people, they care about themselves. And so if there was a way to have them have that perspective and be like, oh, wow, I wouldn't want this to happen to me, that's terrible, it would help for a better understanding, and it would move them closer towards kindness.
I think some way, somehow, in my opinion, let me just say again, in my opinion, sometimes, the persons that are bullying are, is the bully. I think, honestly, it starts from the home, because you don't know what is it? Sometimes my mother, them father, and I show them the love, you know. And you have to look at it and think that, you know, this person has not experienced the word love. So, you know, they feel like they can go out and ruin your day, my day, and let us feel less than a person. So to not let this bully thing get, you know, a big thing in Jamaica, I think, you know, we should start it at the home. And, you know, going forward, you know, we should use kind words at home, at school, and when you're going out, even to the supermarket, you know, good night, good morning, and all of that, because the simplest things, you know, you can say good morning to somebody right now and they're having a down moment and you make them smile. And that's really beautiful. But I'm saying, like, to prevent bullying, or the person that's doing the bullying, I just think that you should do a little background check with them, because, you know, sometimes, you know, sometimes they don't know what's love. And for you to experience love, you have to know what's love. Have to. If you don't know what's love, you cannot experience that thing. No, you can't even touch it, because love might be a 4-letter word, but it's really strong, and you have people that's out here suffering from it mentally, physically, emotionally, you know. So I just think that love is the best way. Yeah, love.
My name is Jesutofunmi Simpson. I'm a licensed associate clinical psychologist, and I work with the Children First Agency. Alright, so the anti-bullying campaign started because in working with children and working with stakeholders, we were hearing so much more stories about bullying. We were meeting with teachers and guidance counselors and people working within places of safety. And the stories were just ridiculous. They were crazy. And then we went from those physical sessions to COVID. But we still wanted to address bullying, and since everybody was home, we decided to switch to a social media campaign. We could still reach persons with a message that said, hey, it's not okay to bully. We want to celebrate the differences, not discriminate each other because we're different. And so that's how we ended up here with a social media campaign. And this is our third go at this, our third round of it. And we just want the impact to be persons recognizing the fact that I am human and this person next to me, they're human. And we're not the same, and that's okay. We don't need to be the same. I don't need to treat them less than because they look different or they behave differently from me. We want to celebrate the differences that collectively make us what we are. Human. And so that's why we're doing this. So the psychological effects are many and varied, and it often depends on the particular child or adolescent, because individuals respond differently to bullying, even if it's the same type of bullying. But generally what you'll find is children who are experiencing bullying, they may become more withdrawn, they may appear to be more sad, or they could also just become angrier and seem to be more bullies themselves in a sense, just in an effort to regain some control. There's an anxiety that often comes with it. So different things tend to happen when a child or an adolescent is being bullied. If a child is being bullied at school, and this is a child who used to enjoy going to school and they looked forward to school, and all of a sudden there's a lot of resistance with going to school. I don't want to go, I want to stay. There's just this clingy behavior. Then that's an indication that, hey, something might be happening at school. Let's check that out. If the child overall becomes more clingy, or a clingy child suddenly becomes withdrawn, you want to look out for that. A child who was doing well isn't doing so well again. And so you just want to make note of the changes. what's different and when did this difference start, and then just have the conversation with the child or teen or whoever to say, hey, what's happening? We've noticed this and this have changed. What's going on? Again, that's personal for the person. It's what works for you. And so for some persons, something like deep breathing exercises could just help to center them, help to cool down some of the hot emotions that they may be feeling. So you have the deep breathing, you have different mindfulness activities that kind of just bring them back to the present.
Mindfulness, you said mindfulness
exercises.
Okay, can you share one of those? Like, what is that for persons who don't know? Because I don't know.
Okay, so we're talking about mindfulness exercises. You're talking about exercises that bring you to the here and now. So a lot of times when persons are experiencing bullying, a lot of their mental capacity is held up with what happened and that person did and that person said, and it's a lot of ruminating on whatever the experiences have been. So when we're using mindfulness and grounding exercises, we're trying to focus on the here and now. So even just to squeeze the arm of the chair to bring you here, to tap, so that you're not in your head, but you're now with the present. So that kind of thing. It helps. Talking, exercise, diet, just all the stuff we've heard all our lives that are good for our physical health. A lot of times we don't recognize that they're also good for our mental health. So yeah, do those things. Like you said, this is not a new conversation. This is an age-old topic. But I think part of the challenge we're having is part of the challenge we're having in many other areas. It's a lot of talk and we're not actually enforcing things. So schools say no bullying, but then teachers, admin staff, auxiliary staff, students make remarks that are swept under the rug. Even when it comes to the attention of maybe a dean of discipline or a teacher, nothing is done about it. So I think we have to get past the place of just talking and having policies in black and white, so when ministry come or whoever comes, we can say, oh yeah, we have a no tolerance for bullying policy here. We have to enforce these things, and we have to let people know that this school or this institution has a zero tolerance for bullying. So if you bully, here are the consequences, and then follow through. I think once we start to follow through, and not just starting with the students, but starting with the teachers, because how many of us know teachers who even bullied us when we were going to school? So if the teachers are bullying, they have no authority then to tell the students not to. Yeah? So we have to start from the very top and work our way down and set the example. You want no bullying? Don't bully. And if you bully, these are the consequences. And I think that's what we have to do.
Hello. Hi. Yes, Zoe. So I think we have some couriers to ask some questions.
Yes.
But yeah, who's going first?
You first.
Okay. So my question to you is, what do you fear regretting?
What do I
Fear regretting.
fear regretting?
Mm-hmm.
How do I answer that? What do I fear
Regretting.
I guess having regrets. I don't want to be in a position in life where I feel like I missed out on an opportunity.
Interesting. Yeah. Throw your question to me now.
What are you afraid of?
Honestly, there's a lot, but I am afraid of repeating history, losing my mom, losing my loved ones, and especially losing my little brothers. Like, those are my prize gold. I love them. But my question to you is, what do you fear is coming up?
What do I fear is coming up?
Yeah, Fair, like something weighing over really far and took a psh in your face.
I guess being alone.
Oh, you don't want to be alone?
Yeah.
You have a bed.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get you.
if I bear myself with you, I actually have BPD. So one of the symptoms of that is, feeling empty, feeling worthless and stuff like that. So I don't like feeling alone.
You have to keep active.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What are you hiding?
What am I hiding? If you had asked me this question years ago, I was hiding how hard it was to just exist. I was hiding how hard it was to just exist. For a while, I guess I was suicidal.
Oh wow.
And I didn't really say anything to anybody. I was just very sad and very low. And so I guess I was hiding that. Or like hiding the extent to which I was feeling down. But yeah, I'm not hiding anything anymore. Thank you. It's going to hurt. People are insecure about a lot of things. So when people point those insecurities out, it's going to hurt. But as you get older, you learn to manage the hurt. You learn to adjust. You learn to just not care or try not to care. There'll be days where, it's still floating in your head and making you feel down. But at the end of the day, what matters is how you view yourself and how you feel about yourself. So, yeah.
It's really okay not to be okay, but it's not okay for you to be bullied. And if you feel like you're in a charcoal, do not be in that charcoal. Try to find a way to come out that hole. And there's always somebody to talk to. Always somebody to vent to. You're not alone. And if you don't want to talk to nobody, pray about it. Because when everybody can forsake you, the Lord will not and will never forsake you.